I just work with a bunch of boomers, and they just do really dumb shit at my job. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's.
Where do you work?
So I was a welder for 15 years, and
Okay,
I couldn't fucking stand it.
Okay.
It was just like everybody there wants to work 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I don't. Mm-hmm. I think that's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Your kids will hate you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a drunk, and all your money you're going to spend on is having a lifted truck with a Trump sticker on the,
Yeah,
or
literally.
Punisher,
With the balls on the fucking hitch or whatever.
yeah. And then you need like an escalator because the guy's like 5 feet tall to get out.
Yeah, right.
I literally I wanted so bad. Like if I made it and I made a shit ton of money, I would want to get my Prius lifted. And
Lifted Prius is funny.
And then just have like lawnmower wheels,
Yeah.
Just like this. Like I have zero things to compensate for.
Get like hydraulics on it, just fucking like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
dude. Fucking.
But I work at a carpet place now, and it's like a mile from my house. That's why I got all this free carpet.
Oh, no shit. Nice.
I redid my whole house with sneaking stuff out the back door.
Fuck yeah, doggy.
But no, they're cool. It's just it's an old like Polish Italian family, and there's still that boomer mentality of like, if it's a slow day, I better find something for you to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like there's just.
If you're not breaking sweat every hour on the hour, like.
Yeah. There's just certain things that don't make sense that you're like, dude, I could literally help you with this.
Yeah.
Like for example, we literally have 30 years of file cabinets of everybody's files. Shit. I'm like, dude, when it's slow, I could just input this into a fucking computer, and we could have places to store shit. Like, no, we've been doing it this way for 30 years. I'm like, that's the same excuse for slavery.
Yeah, literally.
So, there's just little shit like that.
I mean, I'm big on if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean, at the same time, it's like you don't want to be obsolete.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's a reason everyone puts shit on a fucking computer.
Bro, I had a similar thing like that when I was in the union where like it was slowing down before lockdown, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. Because the journeyman would be like, what are you doing here just talking with us? This is our group, Yeah. Like, well, what do you want me to fucking do? And he goes, just keep sweeping the shop. I, just for the fuck of it, wanted to see how many, like, what would I got like 25,000 steps.
No shit.
Because I wasn't even sweeping. I was just walking in circles with a broom.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, here we go. You're paying me a welder's wage to pretend I'm working. Union proud, like.
Yeah, literally.
So, but yeah, that's what I've been. It's funny too because like how you were saying, like you think of random shit at work.
Yeah.
It really reflects what's going on in your mind at that moment.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
that's when I'm the most sober. That's when I'm like just ate, just woke up. So
yeah, I have a problem because I just like quit coffee. Yeah, well, I relapsed today.
Oh.
I tried to quit coffee.
Gotcha.
Because it gave me too much. Like today, I'm gonna do nothing but mix videos, so it helps me. But dude, during the week, like my bosses were like, "Are you like depressed or drunk?" I'm like, "No, I just haven't had coffee today, so
Yeah.
I'm really chill." I'm normally in like Polish paranoid mode, where I'm constantly like freaking out and getting offended by shit.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, oh, dude, whatever. We're at work, like.
Yeah, fuck it, man. It's fine,
Yeah,
I feel.
But yeah, man. Let's get wild.
Let's get wild.
This is fucking Wild Phil's Osophy, your host, Wild Phil, and we got Kyle Kancewick on the show today.
What's up, everyone?
Fuck yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. I like having, I see somebody do comedy, and I'm just like, if I like it, let's have them on. I don't give a fuck how long they've been in,
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I like it because I knew, I didn't even have to ask you if you're a Skanks fan. It's, that's how it is.
Yep.
And that same thing with Cumtown. I actually just recently got into Cumtown.
No shit, really?
Yeah, and only because like how I was saying before, like how they were saying like they kind of shut down because they were like ADHD.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of clips on YouTube that are animated.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, and like we were talking about earlier with the clips, especially with podcasts, the clips, especially with the animations, are like so much more digestible to like a grander audience.
Yeah.
So rather than being like, hey, listen to this hour-long episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that's the route to like really selling it to people.
You know what really I recommend that's funny? Have you ever seen Ricky Gervais podcast?
Not the podcast. No, I know of Ricky Gervais though, but
Yeah, dude, he has. So the setup is it's like him and his best friend, and then they have like a third wheel who's like kind of an oaf
Okay.
that they just rag on. He's like the Donnie in the Lebowski,
Okay,
group.
yeah.
And they're all animated. And they're
Okay.
funny as fuck. They're funny because it's really weird. Like what Hanna-Barbera animation is, like Jetsons, Flintstones.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, really?
So it's, I don't know why it's funnier to see. Like,
There's something about like the visual aspect to it and actually seeing it. You know what I mean? Some people don't really like just hear things and imagine it. Like when I read something or I like paint a picture in my head. I guess some people don't do that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
There is something about just like actually seeing it.
It's similar to like the Joey Diaz stories.
Yeah.
Like it just makes it so much funnier. But yeah, I wish I knew somebody who could do.
Yeah, like an animator. I fucking wish, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But I've even looked into like the AI ones, which obviously are dog shit.
Yeah.
And don't even come close to what you're looking for.
There's so many people doing music videos with AI, and it's like, it was cool for like a week,
If that, dude, it just takes all the creativity out of it. And it's like, it's a creative outlet. So at that point, like, why even fucking do it? Mm-hmm. I mean, unless I guess you're making money on it, but
yeah.
That's just so dystopian to me.
Yeah, I was mentioning, I think I'm going to start like regularly just making like joke raps about like current events. Mm-hmm. And it's goofy to me that like people ask me, they're like, "You wrote this?" I'm like, yeah, like this is too offensive for AI to write.
Yeah.
So this is all my skill. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
But
I tried doing that with AI, being like, type in slurs or whatever, and be like, "Oh, we can't find anything."
Yeah,
Like, no fun.
I tried it because I mentioned it before, but there was you've gone to Jerks at Joe's.
I've heard of it. I haven't been there.
Okay, it's not a thing anymore. But when I used to go, there was a rapper there, and he's fucking dog shit. I don't give a fuck. He's not even worthy of mentioning his name on here. Mm-hmm. I did an episode with him. You can go fucking do your research, but he's awful. Mm-hmm. And he's like a San Francisco tech nerd, and the reason why I became friends with him is because I saw him freestyle at an open mic, and I was like, dude, he's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. And because I was running a show, I was like, instead of me being like, all right, you know him, you love him, he's a local comic, Kyle Kancewick. Instead, I wanted him to freestyle about you. So he like, I don't even. I like, yo man, it's Kyle Kancewick. He's got that flannel. He's coming straight out of dog kennel. Just like do like a minute rap of bringing you on.
Yeah.
And then I realized he just chat GPT'd everything.
Oh, man.
And I realized it because the bar that I was doing it at was like it was owned by like an old mafia member.
Okay.
He riffed about the wrong guys with the wrong name.
Oh,
so he was sitting there. He's like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about? What is he looking at me for?"
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when. And then what's funny is like after I stopped talking, I'm just like, "Dude, you're a Chat GPT hack. Mm-hmm. Like, go fuck yourself." He started going to comedy mics, doing Chat GPT jokes.
Come on, man.
And it was awful. It's like reading one of those 101 kids joke books.
Yeah, dude. Like, do you really think that's gonna, like, I mean, you could maybe get away with that for like a little bit, but like, what's the big payoff for doing something like that?
It's funny because I wrote in one time. I only did this one time, and it's not even that good of a joke. I'll say it on here because I don't even say it anymore. But I wrote in like one of my bits because I'm not famous enough to be like write a joke in the style of Wild Phil.
Yeah.
So I just wrote like one of my bits, and I go, write a joke about anything in the style of this comedian, and it wrote a joke, and it was not bad, but I had to add on to it. Like the joke was just like, I was driving down the street and it said "watch for children," and I thought, man, that's a good trade-off. But then I ended I like had to add on to it where like, but guys, I'm looking for the Rolex of children's, that real drip. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
And like ChatGPT ain't gonna write. Not to mention, it doesn't fucking matter how much AI is gonna write that. You have to be able to deliver it.
Yeah.
Because you could give an open micer entire whatever Louis C.K. set. They're not gonna know how to deliver it like him.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know. For me personally, like, comedians, like, obviously, yeah, you start off by, like, watching their specials and I like their jokes, but the comedians I like most, or I like them as a person. I grow to find out who they are, and I like them as a person. Like, I fell in with comedy because you know the show Louis C.K.'s old show? I fell in love with him as a person, and I was like, damn, I want to be a loser comedian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like, you know, if you're just having AI jokes, there's no fucking soul in that. What's the point? You know?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, his canceling almost, like, gave more fruit to his character.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, it did.
You know?
It did. And also, it's nice because, like, I feel like if he didn't get that cancellation, he would have gotten, like, too big doing, like, fucking United Center and shit. And I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, comedy shows in United Center are okay, but comedy's not meant to be done in a fucking arena, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The biggest show I've ever went to was Sebastian Maniscalco.
Really?
At Rosemont Theater.
Okay.
And that was right before he started doing arenas. And I was just like,
yeah.
I like clubs, dude.
I mean, that's what it's meant for. There's a synergy between the audience and the, you know, comedian that's lost when there's, 35,000 people and then one stage, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because, like, after all this, you've seen all this crap happening in 1 week about all these, like, creeps in the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was going to, like, last time, I was going to just cancel myself with Tori Ward on here, but she's like, I don't feel comfortable with that.
Oh, yeah.
she's like, if I don't stand up for something, I'm going to fucking, like, I'm the one who's going to be canceled.
Yeah.
But it's not even, like, my dirt isn't even, like, I don't even think it's that bad. You know what I mean?
I kind of feel the same way. Like, I do dirty shit, but it's like, to me, that's just how I think and talk and how my friends think and talk. So it's just like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't understand why people, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I've never had anything. Like, first of all, people don't get canceled over content. Nobody fucking gets.
No.
It's like you have to be a real. That's kind of what I was telling Tori is like. When you actually get canceled, you probably deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree because really a lot of it's the intent behind it.
Yeah.
So it's like no one really even like you might get in hot water for a little bit, but yeah, I think you're right. Like no one really gets canceled for simply just saying a joke. It's usually because people found out, like with Cosby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People found out he was actually fucking, or D'Elia. You know,
yeah.
They found out he was like actually fucking doing that shit.
Dude, it sucks so much because I'm not joking. Like, so my wife is like an average Joe. You know, she or average Jane. Like she doesn't. She's not obsessed with comedy like we are.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia was like our mutual favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and I still think he's kind of funny, but it's just like you know what? It's like. I think we're moving into the like everything comes in waves, right?
Yeah.
Everything. Like the first trans person you might have seen was like Divine in that John Waters movie, Pink Flamingos, right? Mm-hmm. And the more you exposed trans, the more people got acceptive of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if you walked in to a grocery store trans in the 90s, you might get attacked. It sucks.
Yeah.
But you do it now, it's accepted. You know, it made it so I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to get at.
I think what we're trying to get at is like the more you say something's offensive, the more you say you shouldn't say it.
Oh,
like
you know what I was getting at is like I think we're in the generation of like forgiveness.
Okay, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like it's I've had a few people tell me like, how could you do this but then like this? Is that hypocritical? I'm like, no, it's just I'm an ever-growing, changing person.
Yeah.
So something like when I was in 8th grade, I thought Dane Cook was the funniest fucking person, and I watch that now. I'm like, this is every bro.
Yeah.
This is every guy who used to fuck with me in high school. You know. So it's just like I just think that people that like for example, Chris D'Elia, is that forgivable? You know, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. You know.
I don't know. That one's have you seen the documentary? It was a YouTube documentary, but
I have, yeah.
It's tough.
It is tough.
It's tough.
like I didn't know it was hard. You had to watch both sides.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to really get the absolute truth, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like from I might be wrong and I might be biased because I like this comment, but it was just like I heard that like, you know, he was just touring and getting a shit ton of nude pics that he shouldn't have gotten. I don't know. Is that right? I don't know.
I don't know. I heard. Well, wasn't he like having like girls like tattoo his initials on their hand and shit like that?
I did. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
That's a no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like, I don't know. Is it? Oh, not to me, it's a no.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if they're of age and he's doing that.
Yeah. I mean, it is still kind of but at the same time, I mean, I think there is something with separating the art from the artist, to a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To me, it was like when I heard all this, like even with Louis, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, would you ever do this? And the answer is no for me. Like, I would never.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Up.
So in my eyes, yeah, he is wrong. I'm just standing up for somebody that I look up to,
No, I agree. So. And like, yeah, I am biased, obviously, because he literally got me into comedy. But.
You know what? I wanted to tell this while Tori was on, so I'll just probably my worst canceling story. I'll cancel myself right now. You ready for this, bro?
Sure.
So I had, and I don't even know if this is that bad, but it was like, so I had this friend Nicole in like after high school. She was like one of my best friends. She's one of those chicks who she was so intimidating. Everybody thought she was a lesbian. She was just like this goth chick who listened to Black Sabbath, who'd be like, suck my fucking dick if you mess with,
Yeah.
And I was friends with her for a long ass time. And then she went into, this is like before, I hate using the word, but it's like, this is before like the whole woke movement, whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, I was just like, we would just hang out, party. And I knew that like we weren't each other's type. She was like one of the guys, Then she's like, yo, you know what? And I was going through some shit. She's like, I'm going to fucking Colombia, so I might not see you for like a year, but man, like, we'll keep in touch, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, let alone what people talk about universities do to you now, but I didn't know what art school does. You know what I mean? Like, she came in, suck my fucking dick, you fucking, whatever, homo. Like, she was like hard as fuck, and she came out like purebred, like feminist type, you know what I mean?
I guess you're a product of your environment.
Yeah. And so what happened is we went to go meet up at this bar, and I'm just venting about like how awful my ma was. Like, that's gonna be the impression. If somebody does an impression of me, it's gonna be me ranting about my mom because I don't shut the fuck up about it. But like I just had I forgot what she did. She just like trashed my room, and one day I pulled a prank on my mom. She was a coffee addict, so I switched her coffee like the whole with decaf.
Oh, okay.
So she had like she was so pissed she threw the whole coffee maker at me.
Oh man!
But
how'd she know?
Because she's like, I'm not waking up. What the fuck is going on? And then I told her, and she did not find it funny. Like, she was pissed.
Damn, man. Yeah,
She's like, I just drank like 2 pots of coffee, and I don't know if I'm having a stroke. I don't know what's happening to me.
I'm shitting everywhere, but I'm still falling asleep.
So I'm venting to her about my mom, and I'm just like, listen, Nicole, like, I get it. There's so many women that I respect. They're fucking awesome. And the reason why I know that is because my mom is not one of them. And I just kept using like, she's dumb broad, whatever. So Nicole going to like, being like feminized because of university, which is cool and all. I'm smoking a cigar and I'm about to put it out in the parking lot. She goes, no, you know what? That's no. You don't want it here. Let me show you. And she grabs my cigar and she puts it out on my hand. And luckily, because of how quick I am and because I was a welder, bro, I've had 3rd-degree burns. Yeah. And I realized, like, oh, she wants to go there. So she puts it on my hand, and I go, no, Nicole, this is how you did it. You don't want to start a fire, don't you know, Smokey the Bear? And I took it, and then I hawked like all this phlegm in my hand. I put it out in my hand in the phlegm, and I rubbed it around, and I go, see, that's how you do it, sweetie. And I just like smeared it on her face,
man.
And I'm like, I would have done that to anybody who puts a fucking cigar out on you.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like,
canceled. Canceled with Kancewick.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it doesn't matter who you are. At a certain point, you get what you fucking what's coming for you.
Like, I was just thinking, like, we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
How bad could have this gone with somebody else? You know?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Fuck around and find out.
Never. She never talked to me again.
Oh man.
But
Well, what did you think was gonna happen? I was just supposed to burn your hand permanently, and oh, cool. Remember that time? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm gonna take it for my toxic masculinity, you know. But it's just like, yeah, you know, I just care for everybody, and people who just get brainwashed for anything. It's just like, dude, you're gonna get older, and you're gonna realize like how stupid.
Yeah.
Like people lose. I mean, like I don't want to mention it, but like you see the whole thing mentioned, like with fucking this ugly chick yelling at Bob Keenan and his girl.
Okay.
It's just like you're ruining a friendship for some cause that you don't even completely. It probably has nothing to do with your fucking personality. You just like you're missing a void there, and you want to be a part of something.
Oh yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. You need to get your little slot of attention somehow.
So. I mean, the only things I wrote down here, because I'm going to announce, I got on the roast battle tournament.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck
Congrats,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. Because
Is that downtown or Rosemont?
It is down. So this one, because it's like preliminaries, they're doing it at Lincoln Lodge.
Oh, okay.
I'm going against Evelyn Troutman. Shout out to her. She's going to destroy me. She's
All right.
I know she's one of the top 5.
Is she really?
Yeah, I mean,
check her out.
I have I'm subscribed to the roast battle thing, so it's like it's like 5 people all the time. It's like Bob Keane, Evelyn Troutman, Adam Quaslow, like Katie Kincaid. I mean, it's Hannah Belmont's doing well on there, you know.
Yeah.
I've had like I have done 4 roasts. I can honestly say I'm probably only proud of one of them.
Really?
Maybe 2, you know, with Ted Ukala and Chris Bongat.
So how does that work? They tell you who you're going to be roasting like ahead of time, and then you write jokes ahead of Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if it was like on the spot or...
Well, yeah, so it is. Yeah, it is like you write before it.
Yeah.
But I don't know why this is just my how I retained it is I don't think a lot of comics wanted to roast back in the day. Like when I started, bro, March is going to be 3 years. I can't believe that shit.
No shit.
Like
dude.
this is the longest relationship I've been in other than my marriage
Yeah,
with
no,
comedy.
I feel.
So I know that when I started, I actually only wanted to be a roast comedian.
Really?
That was the first my roast battle with Chris Bongat. That was my first show ever.
No shit, really?
So
Okay.
yeah, and I like the way they used to do it was like because there's like little people willing to do it. You would reach out to them and you'd be like, "Hey, I'm friends with this guy Kyle. We know each other. We're cool. There isn't going to be a fight that breaks out. We'd like to do a date."
Yeah.
And I did. That's how I did the first 4.
Okay.
And then now there's so many people who want to do it where like I was talking to Stephanie Robertson and she's just like sign up in the tournament.
Okay.
And that might be because they don't like me, and that's okay.
If they don't like you, you're doing something right.
Yeah. But no, I think that's because there was a lot of people that I knew that signed up and didn't get in. But I also think it's because like you haven't done roast before.
Yeah.
So, but so I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be.
Fuck yeah, dude. When's
doing-
that?
When is it?
Yeah.
It's the 20th, I believe, of February. That's the date that I'm doing.
Gotcha.
And it's so much fun, dude. Like I already have like what I do is like so yeah, like you were asking before, you get 7 jokes each.
Okay.
And you do write them before. Like they let you go on stage with notes and stuff. You look better if you don't look at them.
Yeah, for sure.
But with my brain, that is impossible.
I feel that. That's my problem. I'm
Yeah.
always fucking looking at notes and shit.
Yeah, my biggest problem was I didn't know how to do the callbacks.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I'm used to all the Jeff Ross roasts where it's just like you say a joke after joke after joke with nobody really like, you know,
like ties it back or whatever.
Yeah. Like I don't know what the word is, reacting or whatever. But so yeah, I'm happy to fucking do that. They're always fun. It's a whole new animal, and it's just fun because like you have to do research. You know?
For sure.
There's like 5 jokes that I wrote on Evelyn Troutman that I'm like, fuck, somebody already said this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you could, it's all the Tim Burton shit. She looks like Tim Burton designer.
Oh, okay.
So And I didn't know that somebody said that before. It's just like, but so I got that, and then I just did Comedy Bar,
Fuck yeah.
which was fucking fun as hell. Shout out to Ruben Ramirez. Ruben, I feel like he's going to be the next representative of Illinois. He's so fucking amazing.
Really?
Like
Yeah, I've seen a lot about him more and more recently, for sure.
You know, he's one of those people that from the start, he just gives off this energy of like, I'm flying solo from the start and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and he's making it.
That's dope.
I keep
dude.
like it's crazy. It might be a lonely place, but it's funny to me that like nobody really I don't hear people giving him the credit he deserves. It's because he doesn't need anybody.
Those are the best people. Those are the diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the ones you always hear about are the most overrated ones. Not that that's a hot take or anything, but like, you know.
Yeah, but it's also like a lot of people are like in a certain clique.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you know they're best friends, they're homies, but in the back of their head they're fighting against each other.
No, there's still that competitive thing. Dude, I didn't realize how fucking greedy I was like with my jokes. Like, I've got my buddy that's like he's into skanks, he's into comedy, whatever, but like I've had him go up like once on stage and he just kind of fell out of it, didn't do it, but he still writes jokes.
Was he at the Vault?
Yeah, it was a while back that he performed, but yeah, he performed at the Vault.
What's his name?
Liam.
Liam. Okay.
He was only up like once or twice.
Okay.
But no, like we were talking and I had what was the joke? We were talking about like, he was like, I don't know if I'm like something about me, the way I look, if I look racist, but like when I go to the bar, white people just like assume I'm racist. And we were like, yeah, it's like it's white people's way of flirting almost to like find out if you're racist.
Yeah.
I let him have the joke. And then the day later, I'm like, I think I want that fucking joke back.
Bro.
Like,
have you ever had that at your job where white people, dude, this is a thing that white people do that are actually like that's what I mean. It's like we're allowed to tell racist jokes because we're fucking comedians. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And to me, a racist is somebody that goes out of their way to like hate on this race. We don't do that.
I feel like you could tell just by talking to someone.
Yeah.
Who's actually racist and who's not, because it's the intent behind it.
Yeah,
for sure. You know what I mean?
Do you have any stories like that at work that you've had like white people try and like where you're like flirting about race?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. My work's been pretty boring lately. Do you have any fucking...
Dude, yeah. So when I started welding, I was working for a family friend, and because I got out of college when all the housing market dropped, so I had to like, my mom was like, hey, can you give my kid a job? And I was learning how to weld, and it was just me and the guy running the shop. It was the coolest welding job that I had, by the way.
Yeah.
It was all like artistic railings.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you literally did like some Skyrim shit, because it would be like somebody would be like, I want roses and vines going up my railing. So I would be on an anvil like blacksmithing this stuff and heating it up and like shaping the rose with a blowtorch, you know?
Oh, like actual man shit. That's cool.
Yeah, and so like he started to get busy, and he's like, we need to get a third guy who's just kind of like a shop bitch, you know?
Okay.
And we got this fucking guy from North Carolina. Like, his face, he always looked like a mugshot of someone on How to Catch a Predator.
Okay.
And I remember the first day on the job, we're driving in the truck. It's like one of those goofy scenes where you're like three guys sitting in the front seat, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just like, so what do you think of them blacks, you know? And
damn, that is cold open.
Yeah. I'm like, this is how white people flirt, apparently, you know? And I just look at my boss, and my boss is about to crack up, and he's like, Phil, you got this one. I'm like, I like the blacks, actually. I'm fine with that, you know?
I'm a fan, you know?
And then he starts going, he's like, man, but what about the Mexicans, man? And then he finally got to, he's like, all right, you know what? I'm just trying to try small talk here. What about them Jews? I mean, you can't tell me like the Jews. They be run. The reason why we sitting in this truck is because the Jews be running everything. And I just like, I got into my comedy mode, and I'm just like, well, you're Catholic, right? He's like, I'm like, well, I mean, you're getting on your fucking knees for a Jew. And he didn't know that Jesus was a Jew. It blew his fucking mind. And he didn't show up to work ever again. After I told him Christ is a Jew, it was like I made him realize he's gay.
You broke his brain. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Get into a whole religion, not know the basics of it.
Yeah. So
that's
yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that though. But yeah, man. So I mean, Ruben Ramirez. You know, I got a comedy bar. I'll be honest. This is my fault. I'm 3 years in March, you know, which is 2 months from this episode. Like, I'm still learning to read my crowd. And, you know, one thing, like, everybody has their own, what's it called? Like, their own process. And to me, I realized, like, I look like an asshole. So people love when I self-deprecate.
Okay.
And so that's the route that I went. But it was just too, you know, comedy bar, like I said, it's in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
Literally 70% of the crowd were like rich tourists.
Okay.
None of them were even from Chicago.
Yeah.
And they were like, holy fuck, is someone going to arrest this criminal?
Yeah.
Because that was it was from ankle bracelet to like being in jail. Like it was just.
Because you don't look like Jimmy Carr or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should have, you know, you know, on the crowd, that was not my crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not blaming it on the crowd. I should have done more like relatable, whatever, like marriage or stepdad material.
Yeah.
But then what's funny is like I was so bummed out because that was like my comedy bar debut. I went straight to Red Room and bro, I crushed.
Dude.
Like I never had 3 people go up to me. They're like, bro, that was your best fucking set.
That's the best fucking feeling, man.
Yeah. I literally like cried from happiness on the way home,
dude.
Because like Alan Salazar, one of my best buddies, with Brian Miklas, you know, BFFs out there, like they were hosting the show. Alan was hosting the Red Room, and it's the best feeling where like you just did comedy bar. That was the first time I bumped. Because he's like, yo, man, I'll get you up right away. Oh. And I go up, and I got my 2-piece swag. So I was wearing my Temu swag.
Okay.
And somebody ran out of the Red Room wanting to talk to me because they thought I was famous.
Really?
Because of the way I was dressed. And because of how I did. And I was like, dude, I've never felt this. Like this was fucking amazing. Like, I'm glad. It's good to... It's like Big J talks about it, where he's like, he didn't know his worth. And that night, like, kind of set me like, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Like,
no, dude, it's like probably the most rewarding, like, expedition or whatever that I've gone on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, even like last month, I did an open mic at CG's, and like, I went to leave, a dude like ran out and chased after me to told me he loved my set, and it's like, dude, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling.
It is the best feeling because it's like, I always talk about this, like I did music. Mm-hmm. You never get that validation from music, number one. No. Number two, you love that there's somebody out there, whatever, like when I did like my dead mom jokes, that's the most vulgar shit. I've had so many comedians be like, dude, just drop that shit. But then there's motherfuckers that will run up to me where they went through similar shit, where they had like a parent who died that they don't give a fuck about. And they're like, dude, I'm so glad somebody said it.
Well, dude,
you know?
That's why I like people like say, oh, you can't talk about this, but it's like, it's all part of life. And if I can't joke about it when I go through it, what am I supposed to just be in turmoil the whole time?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but even like saddest moments of my life, like at some point I get through it by joking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's where it comes from. It's not you're making fun of someone and their situation. And I feel like people don't get that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be relatable. I feel like the best comedy is relatable.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I love Louis C.K. is the only comedian I would get some shit tattooed on.
Honestly,
you know?
yeah.
Because his like pyramid is like obviously keeping the funny, but obviously talking about something that's in the back of everybody's fucking mind, but you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And not only is that makes for good comedy, but that's the best thing for like original material.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got like a marriage joke or a relationship. Definitely some weird like fucking sex joke, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes for the best fucking comedy.
I feel like doing comedy has just kind of like made me like more open as a person too. It's made me more comfortable with myself, you know?
Yeah. You know, part of the reason why I want to do like this joke rap is I like calling people out. I love calling people out. That's why I don't give a fuck. I don't think anybody could like cancel me because I call myself out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like before I was going to do this like California fire rap, I was going to do like an Elon rap. So I got all these like left people being like, yeah, fuck Elon. And I'm like, no, my rap is my view, which is Elon, you're a genius. You're doing great things for this world. Stay in your fucking lane.
Yeah.
Because you're an awkward fucking nerd.
Yeah.
That was the gayest Nazi salute I've ever seen in my life.
I just thought he was like, dude, I thought he was dabbing or some shit. I thought he was like trying to appeal to the Fortnite kids or whatever.
Yeah.
But
you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of like that socially awkward. I don't know if you remember this. There was like a politician who was getting all riled up at a rally, and then he just goes like, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. No.
It's you know what it's like? It's like the new kid in the cool group.
Okay.
Where he's like, he's trying to keep his excitement in that he's like part of the group.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know what to do. You know? That's fucking Elon. Like, dude, just keep in your, be Bill Gates.
Be more elusive.
Stay in your fucking Dexter's laboratory. Don't try to be cool, funny, and all those other things. Like, I don't know. That's just whatever.
The girls will like you more too.
Yeah.
Be more elusive.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fucking great. And then the only other thing, I'm going to Arkansas on I mentioned this with Tori, but I don't give a fuck, dude. I talk about the same shit on the podcast. I'm trying to start. Me and Vox, we're fucking tight. He's
David Vox Mullen.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we're basically under the. I don't even know if I should announce him. Might take it out. I don't know if Vox feels, because we're kind of like partners in this. We are trying to start a company that takes Midwest comedians out of state.
Oh, that'd be dope. And
so far we got, I think it's 3 dates in Arkansas. Because like I mentioned this before, like Vox has like the paperwork and the official legal and just even the like negotiating contracts smarts. I just got the street smarts from booking shows with music.
Yeah.
And we put that together, and that's what we want to do. I can't tell you how many fucking comedians I know. They don't even want to go to Wisconsin for a mic.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who are like, dude, I want to fucking hit the road. Like, I'm not getting shows in Illinois. I'm telling you, it's true. If you get laughs, if you do a 5 out of 10 set in Chicago, you'll do a fucking 10 out of 10 set in some random fucking town in Missouri that is dying for comedy,
you
know? So it's worth it. It's exciting. I'm really, we had a little bit fucking, I feel bad for Box. Like, shout out to him. He's a strong motherfucker. He's having some like deaths in the family right now and shit. So, we're going to get more dates, but it's just a cool fucking thing to do. Yeah. And to everybody out there, I've had a shit ton of comedians email me to be a part of this. Like, this is the first run. So I'm just trying to
dope, dude.
I'm just trying to establish your emails will be answered. I will take you out like on the tour, but it's just like nobody knows who the fuck I am.
No, yeah, for sure.
So but it's exciting, dude, because this is just so you know what it's like? It's like this carpet job. Mm-hmm. This is the first job that doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody gets that Monday or Sunday like evening depression. Like, oh my God, I gotta fucking set my alarm clock, pretend like I love everybody at my job, even though they're a bunch of cunts, And this is the first job where I love going to work.
Really?
We all bust balls. We all tell jokes together. Like, there's so much. I have 3 bosses. It's the owner, his cousin, and his best friend.
Okay.
They go to comedy.
Oh, that's dope.
They're like, oh man, I went to CG's. I saw this guy Luca Farrow. I can't believe he's not famous. I'm like, dude, I've done mics with him.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So
he's in New York now, right?
Yeah, he is in New York. Yeah. I love Luke. I've been trying to get him on here for a while, but he's busy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I should have. I was trying to catch Peyton before he moved out to Austin because I knew he was gonna explode.
Mm-hmm.
But like Peyton's like, I don't even know you, bro. Like
Yeah, no,
which I accept. You know.
Oh yeah, Peyton. He's pretty. Who did he fucking open for at Improv recently?
Oh, I don't know. Was it Bobby Lee? No.
I don't think it was Bobby Lee. Was it Tim Dillon?
He went on tour with Tim Dillon.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was probably Tim Dillon then.
Yeah,
Because I remember I saw Tim Dillon there, and I'm like, holy fuck, fucking Peyton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's cool as fuck. But yeah, I mean, I'm fucking glad you invited me on here. I've never been invited onto a podcast at all, so
Yeah.
I've done mine, but
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's cool, dude. Like I mean, I feel like this is what separates, like you were saying, the authenticity of a comic.
Mm-hmm.
You get to know, well, like where you come from. Like what are you about?
especially
Yeah.
on a 1 versus 1. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like I'm very much a one-on-one like conversation kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm not really like I'm gonna get to know you after like hanging out in a big group of friends. So like I like the format a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you, man. You know, cause there's people that I run into, and I'm like, dude, if you can't hang, you're hiding something.
Yeah.
There's something about you, you know, that like.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, like I'm not gonna name names because my resolution is to not cause drama, and I already called out a pedophile and a wife beater. So broke that resolution. Let's see. Not causing drama, not drinking coffee, not smoking cigars. Fuck resolution.
You know, you gotta fail before you succeed, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So but there's when I think of any comedians that like don't want to hang or they won't talk to you for more than like it's like they end up failing.
Yeah.
They end up going like there's something about you, you know, where so
Well, that's like kind of why this is nice too, because it's like, I mean, I had been wanting to like kind of like interact a little bit with the local comedians a little bit, but it's like, who's staying like at 10:30 on a Monday night after an open mic every week?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So like,
you know, fuck that shit. Like honestly, like I don't know, man. I love hanging out with. I love all the people that I hung out with. But I mention this to everybody, and I'll say this another time. I had a sleeping disorder. I used to get seizures in my sleep.
Oh, no shit.
I haven't had one in like 12 years because the meds that I'm on. But if I get sleep deprivation, I get the exact symptoms of like bipolar Kanye.
really?
Literally.
No shit.
Because the meds that
Talking
I'm,
shit about the Jews and things like
yeah,
that.
man. I don't get sleep and I just wake up. Slavery is an option. but like I straight up like you know, I've the meds that I'm on, they're for seizures or they're for bipolar.
Okay.
And so if somebody who's on seizures takes that medicine, but then they like trigger their seizures, they actually get bipolar side effects.
Oh, no shit.
So I'm like, dude, you know I love all you guys. I love hanging out with you guys. It's not worth me being bipolar for a full day and fucking up work relationships or with my family.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I wanted to hang out, you know?
Yeah, no.
So, but
And it's like you work in the morning and shit too. It's like I gotta fucking be up. You know what I mean? And I'm a fucking crazy insomniac. It takes 5 hours to fall asleep.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I love that meme where it shows like where like there's so much pressure on dudes now where you're just laying in bed. Am I doing enough? Am I being manly enough?
Yeah.
Can I support my family? That's literally true. you know?
Yeah, honestly.
I keep thinking about, especially like, you know, like Ken Flores and even like Vox going through his deaths. I had 5 people die in 2020 in my family.
Really?
Like all in 1 year. I can't stop thinking about like, dude, just make the most of your life, dude. Make the most of your grudges are not worth it.
Yeah.
Just be as nice as you can, you know? Like, I'll bust balls on stage, but, like, people are fucking sensitive. You know?
Yeah.
So, and, you know, it's my problem is, like, why do I talk trash? I mentioned this, that, like, I grew up in a family that talks trash, but also I'm an artist that used to play music.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm really cool. I'll be really nice. I'm really, like, generous to people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to art, whether it's music or comedy, I'm real fucking critical.
Yeah,
Like,
same here.
You know, and you gotta be. That's how you
have
get
to be.
better.
That's
know?
how you get quality fucking work. Quality
Yeah.
quality anything, really.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get quality anything by not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
So
Do you so I always start this off, we're it's pretty far from start off, but like I always talk about, like, is there any wild shit that's happened to you this past few weeks?
last week I was drunk taking a shit, and then I went to wipe my ass, and I was wearing a flannel, and then when I went to wipe my ass, I accidentally pressed
The
the flannel in, not this flannel, but like
Yeah.
it into my asshole.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, it's kind of the life I live. You
Yeah.
know?
Where do you work at?
I work at the sheet metal factory over in Bolingbrook.
Oh, seriously? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was in the sheet metal union
Oh, no shit, really?
in Carroll Stream.
Okay, yeah. Our place isn't a union; it's a small independent company. But
Yeah.
I've been there for just under 5 years now. I really like it.
Yeah, dude, it's fun work, man. It
It
really
is fun, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like it gets slow a lot, and I could just hide behind the machine, and I have time to write jokes. That's
Yeah.
how I'm able to write down all my jokes and my podcast bits. I wouldn't be able to do it if I had any other job. So
Yeah, dude. Like, I couldn't stand sheet metal workers in the sense of, like, they'll fucking give you shit if you don't come in for overtime. That kind of bullshit, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if that's how your shop is, but everywhere I worked, it was
I mean, it's pretty chill where I'm at. It's like I said, it's a small company, so it's like, it's kind of to the point where it's like, really, just show up and don't fuck us over, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
What's the worst injury you ever had? Sheet metal.
I never really got any really bad injuries. My buddy Liam, actually, same guy we were talking about earlier, used to work there. He cut his thumb pretty bad and like lost feeling in the tip of his thumb.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I mean, I never really, hurt myself that bad.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I've had a shit ton of injury. Like, I'm trying to think of like the worst injury I had with like metal. Mm-hmm. So I worked at this shop because I used to be a temp before I was in the union.
Okay.
And bro, you got to be a temp when you're a welder. Nobody hires full year round. It sucks.
Really?
But I was at this shop, and it was like a production shop. So it was like, you got to make like 10,000 of these by the end of the month.
Okay.
So you're basically trying to hit like 2,000 parts a week type shit.
Okay.
And there was like, so it's like you put this part on a fixture, and then you weld it, then you hang up your torch, and then you unravel it, put it in the box, and then you do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Well, I was like trying to catch up, so I wouldn't hang the torch. I would just throw it on my on my leg.
Okay.
And
yeah.
and the torch, kind of like a old phone cord. Mm-hmm. It'll like spin if you turn it too much.
Yeah.
So one time I threw it down, and a TIG torch, it goes up to 3,000 degrees.
Yeah.
And it sticks out like a half inch, and it hit me right in the top of the leg. Luckily, no ball or dick injury.
Yeah.
But it basically, what it did is it burned a like pencil size hole into my leg.
Oh.
And then it immediately, cauterized.
Yeah.
So I just had like a Terminator wound
No shit.
for like 3 months.
Just like a little bullet hole.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. And what sucks is like I'm one of those fucking ignorant ass like dudes that I'm not going to the hospital,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I had to like keep getting infected, and I had to just keep popping
Oh, man.
listen, mucus and shit, Eventually it healed. I mean, I have a scar, but
Oh yeah. I would
Yeah.
assume so. You didn't stuff it with fucking gauze or anything like that?
no.
Just let the hole fill up with pus?
I mean, I would put like Band-Aid on,
Uh-huh.
but I felt like if I put gauze, that like the skin wouldn't regrow or something. I don't know.
I mean, I'm no fucking doctor, but
Yeah.
I've always seen they fucking stuff gauze in like bullet holes and shit.
Yeah.
But-
The worst injury I had wasn't like welding. With that guy that I said like where I started welding off. Mm-hmm. Bro, he was the worst business owner. Like he would open a business and it would fail. Open a business and it would fail. Like,
Can't stop losing money.
he's got better rejection coping than a comedian. So one time he opened like a flood emergency business.
Okay.
And basically what it is, I mean, it could be a flood from a crack in your foundation, or it could whatever. But this particular job, it was somebody's shit pipe burst. So there was like an inch of shit that you're supposed to vacuum up.
Yeah.
Then you got to set up the fans and then the dehumidifier. I went to work and I wore the same boots that I wore welding. So there's a bunch of holes in them.
Okay.
And I had an ingrown toenail.
Oh, fuck.
So
man.
I had an ingrown toenail. Now I'm walking around in shit water
That's good.
for like 8 hours.
Healthy.
And once again, I was like, I am not going to hospital. I am Polish beast, you know? And dude, it got so infected.
That happens.
Yeah. And I tried to do it on my own.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I drank like a glass of wild turkey, a whiskey, and then I put a sock in my mouth to scream.
Like it's the Civil War or something.
Yeah. It's like that dude where they amputate his leg in Braveheart, you know?
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And I just went at it with an X-Acto knife.
Oh man.
And then it got worse. And finally, I took a week off work because I couldn't walk. Like I had it looked like a Mickey Mouse glove.
Yeah,
it was so inflamed. And so finally, I went to a podiatrist, and I just remember sitting on that bed, and this Indian doctor is just like, "What exactly happened?
What exactly happened?
If I can ask, I've never seen something like this before.
Why would you put poo-poo in your toenail?"
and dude, it was so he put a shot in my toe, and I just keep thinking of Mitch Hedberg shooting heroin in his toe.
Oh man.
But he put anesthesia in my toe, immediately relieved, but then he's like, "Okay, are you okay? You're not feeling anything?" I'm like, No, I'm fine. Dude, I don't get, obviously if I worked shit flood jobs, I don't get grossed out.
Yeah.
I threw up a little in my mouth. Because when he popped open the infection, dude, it smelled like a dumpster in the entire room.
Bruh.
It was so bad.
Getting wild.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I got.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, but
That's some good sepsis right there.
yeah, dude. I can't believe. Like, it's funny too because like I think my wife is like closeted jealous of like the injuries that I've had that I just like self repair.
Yeah.
Because my wife will get like the smallest cut and she like, "Oh my God, you got to go on antibiotics and go to the doctor."
Yeah.
The shit that she's seen me go through, she's like, "I can't believe you're like not dead because you just don't go to the hospital." But
you got a broken leg, you just like tape a wrench to the side of it or some shit.
Yeah. I had broken my ankle.
No
shit. And I didn't being a temp, I didn't have health insurance. So I didn't go, and it healed wrong.
Be like, I'm good. I got high tops on. These are
well, dude. So this is the dumbest wild Phil shit ever. But like, I just started going out with my wife. I was trying to get some brownie points, for a old handy or old blow it, So we took my stepkid to a GameWorks. You ever go to a GameWorks?
Yeah.
You know how like it's like multiple floors?
Yeah.
So they had this long escalator, and I was like trying to make the kid laugh. So from the 3rd floor, I slid down the escalator railing.
Oh.
And the amount of speed that I gained, I just I landed sideways on my ankle. And it sounds like a Home Depot like paint stick snapping.
Oh man.
And it hurts so bad, dude. I couldn't drive because I couldn't operate the pedals, and it swelled up so much that like I couldn't put my shoe on anymore.
Oh fuck, dude.
And for like a good 3-4 years, I kept rolling my ankle on the smallest fucking thing.
Really?
Like I would not be able to storm the Capitol. It might be, but like
I feel like I could storm the Capitol with this hat on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, guys, come on. Storming the Capitol is just urban air for Republican adults. You're climbing shit, you're kicking shit. But
the Packers just won. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are we gonna storm? But yeah, I went to a physical therapist 4 years too late, and you just do these like you got to do
4 years after it's healed.
Yeah. It was honestly it was just I think there was a ligament that was like stretched really far.
Okay.
And so it needed to be built up to the strength of what it used to be.
Gotcha.
So they just teach you like you do the alphabet with your foot.
Yeah.
Then they had this thing where it's kind of funny because they actually had in the physical therapist, they had a skateboard deck that's on like these, like, it looks like half a tennis ball.
Okay.
And you're just kind of like,
oh yeah,
almost like
Trying to
playing
balance
Tony
or
Hawk
whatever.
on Wii.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, what got you started in comedy?
Honestly, man,
You said you've been doing it for a year and a half?
so like the very first time I did it was actually probably like 7 years ago. I did a few sets at the Comedy Shrine,
Okay.
but my stage fright.
Dude, fuck, then you went before me.
Really?
I literally, the first time I went to go to the Comedy Shrine, that was the first week it was closed down.
No shit, really.
Yeah.
I went up there, I think 4 times, like 2018 or something like that.
Okay.
But my stage fright and anxiety was so bad, I just kind of fell out of it.
Yeah.
But then about a year and a half ago, I was just kind of not really in a good place. I was super depressed. I'm like, you know what? And it had been in the back of my head, like, for years that I wanted to do comedy again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. Just fucking do it. I don't care how nervous I'm going to be. I'm going to do it every week until I'm not afraid of it anymore. And to my surprise, I actually fucking did it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's, to me, really, it's just like working out. Like, if the longer you put it off, the less likely you are to do it. And if you tell yourself, oh, I won't go this week, if you keep doing that, you're going to fall out of it. So I just try to keep at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny that you say that. I was just like over caffeinated and talking to myself about this, but I was like comedy helped me work out again.
No shit, really?
Yeah, because like I mean, for the longest time I've been trying to fucking lose weight and nothing was working. It's a long story. I talked about it with Tori on the podcast, but it was just like, you know, after the deaths in my family, I got put on all these meds that made me gain weight, and it fucked up my metabolism. And like, I literally tried it's so fun. Like, there's so many fat haters that just do this, bro. I started with the most Polish thing, which is starving yourself. Shout out to my Holocaust survivor ancestor.
Starving yourself and drinking vodka.
Yeah. and so like I started starving myself. That didn't work. Keto, carnivore, paleo, Atkins, vegan. I tried it all. Nothing. And then, you know, and I used to ride my bike every other day, 25 miles.
Okay.
I used to like I did jiu-jitsu, and then I just started CrossFit 6 months ago. Okay. And I love it, dude.
Really?
It's so much fun. Like, that's because I'll be honest, bro, working out is boring as fuck. It's so gay to me. Like, there's nothing. I'm sorry. It's just like, I picked this up, I put it down. I picked it, like, it's so dumb, dude. And that's why, like, I was like, dude, I want to start like an adult kickball league.
Yeah.
You know, something that's fun.
Dude, you know what? I'm a big skier. That's a fucking workout.
Oh, really?
Dude. Yeah. That's a fun workout. I'm actually going in March.
Oh, nice. Where do you go to?
So the last time I went was like fucking 4 years ago. We just went to this place in Wisconsin called Granite Peak. We're going over to, what's it called? Snowbird in Utah.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to Wilmot like every other year.
Oh, really?
As a little Polish kid, yeah.
Okay.
I think I might have gone to, is Granite Peak north of Wilmot?
Yeah, it's like 4 hours north.
Yeah, that's where I fucking went.
That's a nice place.
It is cool, yeah.
It's definitely better than Wilmot. Wilmot's just kind of small.
Yeah.
But it's good for like if you're teaching someone or if you're learning.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I went to that Granite Peak, and it was so funny because my friend, I'm not like really friends with him anymore, but like my old Polish friend took me, and we went with my wife. My wife, dude, she ate shit on the bunny hill, and she's like, I'm done. Yeah. Because she rattled her brain, like she's like, I'm done. And then I'm dude. This is what, like, people ask me, like, what the fuck does wild mean to you? Like, me, I just always, since I was little, threw myself to the wolves. Okay. Like, that's how you become a fucking wolf to me. Yeah. And so when I went to Granite Peak, I'm like, dude, I'm going on the biggest fucking black diamond type shit. But I was such a bitch that I went on it with my kid. I was like, oh man, he's going to suffer whatever I do.
You're going to tumble over him as you're rolling down.
Dude, the only thing that helped me was I was leaning on him the whole time.
Jesus.
Like we went down the entire thing, and then I didn't know how to stop.
Or were you just like going down sideways the whole
yeah.
time? Yeah.
We like the way like old drinking buddies like stagger
like
home.
arm over the fucking
Yeah. And so it was fun. It's funny that you mention it though. Is it like are you Polish?
I don't know, honestly. I probably
Okay.
am some part. I never really like did like the ancestry.com or whatever. I was just assumed I was some kind of mutt.
Yeah, I'm asking because like I know skiing is like everybody I tell that I went skiing, they're like, oh man, you must be loaded. It's like, no, dude, like a lot of people go skiing.
I grew up with a lot of Polish people, though. There's a lot of Polish people in my neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Polish people go skiing all the time. Like they just, I don't know, it's just a thing. But yeah, but I was saying like I did CrossFit and it wasn't like it wasn't. I wasn't losing weight, but I was getting strong as fuck.
Okay, well,
and
that's something.
And it helped me because it reminded me of the slow growth of comedy.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Okay.
Like
yeah.
that's just the way it is. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I was just talking to a friend of mine, you know, he was saying like, he's like, you know, it bothers me when I see, you know, this motherfucker got booked instead of me. I'm like, dude, that literally is all of comedy. You're going to feel that the rest of your fucking career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I got to the point where I know who my fans are, and that's good enough for me.
I've always been the kind of guy where I was like, okay, once, you know, I get big enough to where I have like a fan base and that like they're into me, then like who gives a fuck how big the venue is or how, you know, and that's really all, that's would be my goal as a comedian, honestly.
Yeah.
Just have like a dedicated group, you know.
Yeah. Being grateful takes you a long way. It really does.
I've been working on it. Not very good at it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. You know, you could talk to the fucking gills about it, but
I mean, it is nice too because like it really is like the first like kind of thing I've done where it was like I worked on it for a long time and I really saw like a big payoff. I'm such like an instant gratification kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like the first thing where it's like, oh, if you actually are patient with it and continue to do it, you'll like see long-term growth out of it. Because I was never able to fucking work out, bro.
Yeah.
I'd work out for like fucking, I don't know, like 4 weeks and then get lazy one day and never do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. That's what I was saying too, is like CrossFit to me is fun because you got motherfuckers shouting at you. It's like Full Metal Jacket general
really?
shit. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like obviously because of laws and because of like the generation we live in, they kind of like toned it down. Okay. But it is kind of like, yo, Phil, we're not leaving until you're done with your fucking sets.
Oh, okay.
Like the other class doesn't start until you're done.
Yeah,
and I need that motivation.
There is something to that. I just feel like a lot of people take that as like, oh, you're being a dick or something. No, it's like there's a difference between being a dick and then pulling somebody off of their ass. You know what I mean? And because I need that same shit too.
Yeah.
You know?
And there is shit that I learned that I never knew about, which was like I was so bummed out because the week that I signed up, I threw my back out real bad because I work at a carpet shop. So I'm literally like, you see Arnold carrying like a log.
Yeah.
I'm doing that for 8 hours a day. So like doing that and then going to CrossFit, I threw my back out because like it's hard to explain. I just like, you're not supposed to. Weights are designed to lift them the right way.
Yeah.
So when you lift something that's awkward, you're gonna fuck yourself up.
For sure. Yeah.
And so I went to a chiropractor. I'm like, fuck, man. I signed up for CrossFit. I'm probably gonna go to chiropractor and not be able to fucking, you know, I'm gonna have to take it easy for a month, dude. I went to the CrossFit guy, and the CrossFit guy, like, my trainer, the guy who owns that gym, he used to be a private investigator. Now he's a lawyer, and he's like a real life samurai. He's like a Filipino guy who does kinjutsu, which is fighting with the wooden katanas.
Oh, okay.
He's a fucking badass, you know? And he told me, he's like, bro, you got to fucking do as much lifting with your back as you can. And I'm like, isn't that going to fuck it up?
Yeah.
Like, I threw out my back. Why would I do
the opposite of what I've been told my whole life?
Yeah. And because he's a lawyer, he's like, dude, you could sue me if I fuck your back up. I know that you can do, and I didn't realize. I'm like, holy anytime I pull my back out, I go to CrossFit and it's like 20 times stronger. I couldn't fucking
fuck yeah, dude.
like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because being raised in like a fat union guy neighborhood. I was just like, oh, these guys are all dad bods. There's no muscles in your spine. You throw out your back, you're just a fat fuck who eats hot dogs for the rest of your life, you know? And it's not it. Like, you just got to strengthen it.
No,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, we were mentioning it in comedy. Is like, it's great to see that progress.
For sure.
You know, when you're at the gym, you're like, okay, I squatted, 185, and now I'm at 240. You know,
and I almost think it's like even better than working out, because it's like, I mean, obviously, yeah, working out's good for your body and it's nice to see, growing muscle or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like with comedy, like, it's almost given me an identity. Like, at my old job, I used to work at Hooters, and like everyone, and everyone there would
got
like
a nice pair on you.
Oh yeah, right. But everyone there would like know me as the comedian.
Yeah.
And like, I go, at my other job here, everyone knows me as the comedian. People like hit me up with joke ideas or whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's nice to have like a little, identity, something to be proud of,
So what was your canceling story now that you mentioned you worked at Hooters?
Yeah.
Did you fuck around with the waitress? Did you stick some hot wings up some pussies?
No, I wanted to, but no.
Did they ever flirt with you or anything? No.
A lot of them are very flirty. None of them are real. There was one in the beginning when I started working there where I totally could have fucked her, but like I didn't have my own place at the time and I didn't want to bring her to mom.
Yeah.
And then like it kind of just fizzled out into nothing. But
you know what always kind of like made me laugh about Hooters? Like, to me, I like, honestly, I loved Hooters wings. I went there more for the wings than the tits. And but it was like, I always thought it was funny that Hooters is like real 80s generation to me.
It really is, yeah.
Because like, I like thick asses, and that's like that whole cokehead white bitches with fake tits that have a flat ass generation, And it made me laugh that I remember like one of the first times I went to Hooters, I was like, why the fuck are they wearing tights? And it's because it's all those like 80s whores that they've been doing coke, so now they got like varicose veins. Their fucking legs look like a black metal logo. Like,
there's a lot of them too that have like the Hank Hill ass too. Like the shovel ass. So
where it looks like a back vagina.
I mean, I've got the same ass. I can't talk too much shit, but but
you see that shit and you're like, am I in the showers in football again? Yeah, dude, that's one thing me and my bosses argued about. He's like, no, man, it's all about the tits. It's all about the tits. I'm like, well, I got some tits for you, like right here.
Yeah.
Because no, it's about, like, I don't know, man. I don't
They're more plump at Hooters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, yeah, that's kind of, so were you a cook?
I was just working in the back. Yeah. Just not like on grill and shit.
Yeah. That's cool, man. So like, How long have you been? It's going to be your year. You were saying it's a year and a half. And when you start off, you're saying like you're always the funny dude. What do you think were your top 3 comics that influence you?
Top 3 influences. One would probably be Louis C.K. because he started it all for me. Like I said, watching Louis. I've been real into Nick Mullen last few years. That's kind of been my guy that I've been listening to.
Yeah.
Can I go more than 3?
Yeah.
I really like old Chris Rock's really good. Patrice O'Neal's great.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe List. I love Joe List. I'm trying to think who else. There's so many, bro.
Yeah.
But those have kind of been like who I keep going back to.
Yeah. The more specials get released, it's like, if you're an obsessed comedian, it's always changing kind of, you know? But
I miss the generation where like all the specials were on DVDs and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like all those specials, because you don't find them on like, like if you want to watch Killing Them Softly or something, like you have to like rent it on Amazon or like buy a DVD of it.
I still torrent, bro.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I need to get into that shit. I don't know how any of that shit works, but
bro, it's scary because it's funny to me because so like I was always, how like Tom Green and even Rogan talk about like they've always been like obsessed with the technology aspect of comedy. Like we got like podcasts are going to be the next thing, And I actually just watched did you hear about the Tom Green documentary?
I think I heard of it.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, and I'll be honest, like Tom Green is one of my top 10 influences. I fucking love him.
My buddy loves showing people Freddie got fingered unannounced.
Yeah. Dude, I fucking love it, dude.
It really is up my alley, because at first you watch it, and if you don't have an appreciation for stupidity and just like dumbness, obviously you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that I just appreciate stupid funny, and that's 1,000% that.
I mean, I just like, like I grew up with that jackass CKY generation.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like any bro could do jackass.
Yeah.
And what Tom Green was doing, he taught me how to be that deadpan stone face, like just sort of like this stoic, like doing ridiculous shit, but not smiling at all.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to do on the street shit. Not a lot of people, like it's almost impossible to find somebody all the videographers are like artsy art school students that want to film a fucking, plastic bag floating through the air, American Beauty style,
Yeah.
So point is, I meant, like, I love him, but I didn't learn anything new from his documentary. I knew all that
really?
shit.
Really?
That
sucks.
Yeah.
When it's just like a compilation of all the shit that's already been put out there for the last 20 years.
Yeah. It was like, it was nice to see, like, there's a part where he's like emotional talking about how, like, right at his peak is when he got ball cancer. And so it was terrifying. Like, he's like, man, I literally worked all the way up to this, and now I might die.
Yeah.
So that shit was scary. But but honestly, that's like the best part of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Everything else before, I kind of knew, but that's because I was a super fan. So that's you shouldn't take my word for it. But I don't know how.
But I'm always curious to see who's who's your the guy that you were obsessed with when you were younger.
For me,
yeah,
I was obsessed with Louis.
I
was obsessed with Louis, but also equally weird with Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross, really? I never I always respected him as like a roaster. I never really watched any of his specials or anything though.
Yeah, no, I loved his specials. I mentioned this before, like, because I grew up in a really humiliating, critical family. I mean, my family, I mentioned this before, it was all... It's what made me very misogynist at a young age, because I just grew up with a bunch, like what Vance said, where it was just butthurt, divorced, cat lady women.
Yeah.
That they went, like, I'm sorry, they went through one breakup and they were a cunt in that relationship, and now they're like, I fucking hate men. Bro, like, relationships are like Indeed.com or like Mike's. The more you do, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
If you want to find the one, you have to keep going out with people.
And also maybe look inward instead of just blaming other people.
Yeah.
Maybe take a look at what you could improve on,
Yeah. and not only that, my mom was an interior designer, so she found every flaw about you.
Yeah.
Like, I would get dressed up to whatever, go on my first date, and she's just like, oh my God! Did you see the cuts on your arm? You look like a fucking sausage that you're about to put on a barbecue. Like from welding.
I bet that feels good. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a fucking 7-year-old kid.
Yeah. so like watching Jeff Ross, I was like, holy shit! This is a whole new level of trash talking.
And then you oh yeah, no, because you're figuring out, oh, you can use this to be funny.
Yeah.
And oh yeah,
it's okay to do this. You
yeah.
know? And then also I saw him live when in 2010. And I hung out with him for 20 minutes.
That's dope.
He was just in the lobby because all these motherfuckers were rushing to their seats, even though reserved. I forgot where it was. It was either Arcada Theater in Rockford or something
Okay.
But everybody already was seated. He's just chilling in the lobby, talking to people. And he even, because he remembered me, he roasted me on stage,
That's great.
So he's really fucking cool. And
that's another reason why I like the smaller venues so much too.
Yeah.
Because you get, not all the time, obviously, but I saw Louis J. Gomez at Zany's I did it earlier this year and then last year too. Fucking shared a blunt with him. It was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Dave Attell, I saw him a couple times. He fucking brought me a drink one time.
Yeah,
that was pretty dope.
Yeah, those guys are the people who are the most down to earth are the coolest.
Yeah.
It's funny too because like Lewis was a total dick, but I heard that he does that to his fans.
Yeah.
He's like, but because I did a roast that Cody Heck. He put me on the roast back because he knew that I was a huge Skinks fan, and Lewis was doing a show before, and then he was judging the roast.
Okay.
And I fucked up the roast. He was just like, I am ashamed that you're my fan. Get off the stage, you faggot.
Oh man.
But it's like but he was cool and chilling. You know what I did actually? Like I think I shared this story, but it's like so funny to me. So like I got to do this disclaimer. I'm Polish. I have like 3 Holocaust survivors in my family. Polish people have a lot of Nazi shit, like memorabilia.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because all the concentration camps were in Poland.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Because Germany, they moved west to take over Poland, and then they were like, this country's a shithole, so this is where we're gonna have all the camps. So when my dad died, I never really went through his stuff, and I found a Third Reich 1939 like right start of the Nazis coin. So, and I didn't go through his shit until like 2 days before I was going to go to this Lewis roast, or like where he was judging. I'm like, dude, I got to give this to Lewis to like flick at Ari, like you guys go after coins,
Yeah.
And I gave it to him, and I'm like, he's either going to punch me in the face or laugh his ass off. And he was laughing his ass off.
Oh, that's so dope.
And then like when he was judging us, he's like, bro, no amount of Nazi coins are going to have me bribe me to vote for you. It was hilarious.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope. Lewis is great. I mean, people say he's a dick. He was always super cool with me. I mean, I was just a fan, but
Yeah, people don't get that he's the jock that never, he's like the douchebag in the group that never grew out of it. So a lot of it is laughing at him.
He got hurt senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're laughing at, you're not with him. And he is funny. He is generally has like a good heart.
Yeah.
But he's just like, he's got bro energy.
Oh, for sure.
He's
yeah.
a bro. So, but yeah, no, he's, like I was saying, like Jeff Ross, Louis C.K. I loved Patrice. And honestly, I had a real connection with Sebastian Maniscalco.
Really?
Because he's from Arlington Heights.
Yeah.
I grew up in Chicago, like the northwestern point of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Everybody who lived there was the generation after the mafia Italians.
Okay.
So it was like all the businesses that we extorted now went legit, and now we got a bunch of slutty granddaughters who, we bought them an Escalade and it says Italian princess on board,
Yeah.
So like every person that Sebastian Maniscalco imitates, like I know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
So and it's weird because I actually heard a lot of like comedians that don't like him because he's so like animated. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, physical comedy can be tough until you get that big audience,
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone do physical comedy at a comedy club and it works out.
Yeah.
Sebastian
is like, they even said like, even when he moved to LA, he was like, the best way I would describe it, he's like a skittish cat. I
can see that, yeah.
Like there's nobody like him, and he has his own personality that, it's just, but that's who I looked up to, I did like Dave. I didn't really even get into Dave Attell until like the past year.
Oh, no shit, really? Yeah, Dave Attell's great.
Because like growing up in the 90s, I knew him for that Insomniac show.
Yeah.
And that show didn't really give him like, it wasn't his comedy voice.
Yeah,
I
know.
It's like saying, oh man, I love Joe Rogan because I saw him on Fear Factor.
Have you heard of he's got it's an older album from like I think late 90s called Skanks for the Memories?
No.
That's a really good one. You should check that out if you get the chance.
Yeah.
You
know who else I loved? Fucking Artie Lang.
Artie Lang, yeah. I know who that is.
He's the fat heroin addict on
who's
Howard
got the
Stern.
flat nose. Yeah. He's good too, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking who, like, I'm trying to think of like older comedians. Fucking Greg Giraldo's really good. You haven't heard that fucking name in a
hot
minute, yeah.
Yeah, Greg Giraldo was great, dude.
Greg Giraldo. There's a lot of comedians that I liked when I like first got into comedy and then kind of outgrew, but
Yeah, that happened to Joey Diaz with me.
yeah, I mean, I still think he's funny, but it's just like, I don't know. I have this weird thing where it's like, if it's like, even with music too, if I get into them when they're small and they get too big, I lose interest.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but
because you feel it's special to you.
Yeah, right. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like I watched like Tom Segura get big as fuck. I remember I saw him one time and I was front row and I had a meet and greet and I have a picture with him. But that was like 2017.
Okay, was it at Vic?
It was at Vic.
Yeah, I think I might have been at that show.
No
dude.
shit. Yeah, I was there.
It was a great show.
It was a great show. And I was literally right there. Like the microphone was like arm's length for me.
Yeah.
So I like just haven't seen him since. I'm just like, you're never gonna beat that show.
Yeah. It got to his head. It got to his head.
It did. It sucks.
Once he lost weight and became rich, he can go fuck himself.
I know. It sucks. I mean, like his comedy's still decent, but it's like, yeah, you lose. Like we were talking about earlier, a big part of what comedy is the relatability of it.
Yeah.
And once you become like that, you lose that relatability. So
yeah, and there was all these other things like dude, I love Tom, and I still love like completely normal or mostly stories, but it's like he's one of those people that I liked that I was like nobody knew about him, and
yeah,
I
dude.
just.
Yeah,
like,
same here.
Like right next to Crystalia, like he was the one that me and my wife mutually liked.
He actually is going back to influences. I would say he was an influence because I remember being depressed as fuck in high school, watching Completely Normal, and be like, I think I want to do this.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, because he was like this awkward fat dork that you're like you could see this guy being like the manager of a GameStop.
Yeah.
And now, like, I don't know, man. The other thing too was like a lot of people told me to watch his podcast, and like they're like, "Oh man, it's hilarious. He's going after Garth Brooks," and I'm like, "Why?
Yeah,
why? Like he's gonna kill himself. Like, I don't know, man.
It was cool at first. Like I remember when Two Bears first started. When Two Bears was new, like brand new, it was funny.
How do you like? I always find it interesting. How do you feel about Bert?
So I liked Bert a lot at first. I mean, he's one of the guys I have a bunch of comedy memorabilia in my room / podcast studio, and I got his signature. So I mean, I kind of like have a soft spot for him.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, I did. So I kind of do have a soft spot for him.
Where was that at?
That was at the Improv. I want to say that was like 6 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a mile from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a ton of shows there.
Yeah.
I saw Mullen there a couple years ago.
You know who I saw there that you don't see around here is a fucking... You ever get into Craig Ferguson?
I know a little bit about him.
He's the Late Show host who's
Skinny,
Scottish.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who that is.
He's fucking... He was my... I like him better than Conan.
Really?
Like, he was my... I liked Conan because... Growing up, like in the 90s, like he had all the metal bands on his show.
Yeah.
But I still, I mean, maybe he's like the same way. But Craig was just like, I never seen a guy who was this quirky and weird. But
yeah,
he's another guy that he's like a skittish cat to me.
Yeah, maybe I should look into him. I only know of the name, but like never really checked out his comedy or anything.
Yeah, but yeah, you were saying it so about Bert. Like, how did you, like you said you got a soft spot for him, right?
A little bit, yeah. And honestly, it's like I do understand why people don't like him, but at the same time, the hate is a little much, I think.
Yeah.
It's like I pull out my phone and go on YouTube, and like every other video is like Bert just embarrassed himself again, and it's like, okay, if you don't like Bert, you don't have to make 5 videos a month about how much you hate him,
dude. I will tell you. I think being fat is the new trans, really. like meaning like it's the next thing that's like slowly getting accepted. Because there's so many. I mean, this is just my theory, but I just feel like there's so much hate for fat people.
Yeah.
Like it's like it doesn't affect you. Like they're doing their life, and I would say for Bert, it's like 80% of the hate is that. That's just how I feel.
I can see what you're saying, because if either of them sit next to you on an airplane, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, but I mean, even like I had friends who were like friends with like they loved Come Town,
Yeah.
And I remember Nick and Stavros' special came out around the same time.
Yeah.
Nick came out with is it Cowabunga on YouTube?
Year of the Dragon.
Okay. And then it was Stavros. I think it was either the Lincoln Lodge special or something.
The old. Okay. Oh, I'm thinking of the last specials they dropped. Yeah, he did have a special before the Netflix special that was at Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah, it was like right after Come Town kind of dissipated.
Okay.
And I was arguing, what do you like better? And I honestly felt Stavros was better. And I finally, like, after 3 hours of open mic rants, like, I finally talked about. I'm like, dude, you hate him because he's fat. That's literally why,
Yeah.
And being fat kind of helps you almost in comedy,
It really, it's kind of like, it's like we're talking about with Tom Segura. It kind of is like the only profession where it's like the more in shape you get, the worse off it gets for you.
Yeah. But I will say, like, the guy, like, there's few people that are in shape that are really funny.
Yeah.
Like Chris DiStefano, I guess, is probably one of them that is funny and in shape,
Yeah, but he doesn't have that macho vibe. He kind of has that little,
awkwardness.
Yeah.
Because I think, didn't they say, like, he's like closeted bisexual possibly or something? I don't know.
I don't know if that's just the bit, because the bit is always that he's secretly gay.
Yeah. But that is, it's true. It's just like, who do you think of that's jacked? It's like, I don't think Rogan is funny, his stand-up. I don't.
When I first got into it, I liked his older stuff, but I mean, that's when I first got into comedy.
You know what? Like, yeah, because that's the thing. This is the thing that I like. I could feel it between us, even though that's gay. I could feel it where it's just like, there's that authentic quirkiness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you're open-minded, worse for your own good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're not playing for some fucking team. And I remember when I started out, like, I was like, yeah, you got to get into Rogan. I like Rogan. And it's just like, what ruined it for me was, I say this because there's so many people who, like, you ask them if they listen to podcasts. It's like cool in the left comedian scene to say, fuck Rogan. I'm like, dude, I guarantee you've listened to him. I guarantee. Don't fucking act.
That is true.
He's got great guests.
Yeah.
He's a good host, but that's it.
A lot of the guys that I, would consider to be like not even hack comedians, but like comedians that I feel like are more based for a general audience, like Gabriel Iglesias or something like that. I started off listening to them. That's where I started. So it's like, talk shit, but I mean, obviously, it does serve as a purpose for someone, just not you as a seasoned comedian.
I'll be honest, though, I haven't listened to Rogan in like a year.
It's been a while since I've listened, honestly.
I stick to Bonfire.
Bonfire's good. Skanks is always great.
Yeah.
Story Wars. You ever listen to Story Wars?
No, what's that?
That's the new Skanks sideshow where they have it's Lewis, it's Big J, and then they'll usually have 3 guests, and then they'll tell a story, and then they have to guess which among the 5 told the story.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's a newer podcast.
I have heard of that. Yeah.
It's funny though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what I used to listen to. Honeydew as well.
Honeydew is funny.
Yeah, it's cool because that kind of gets to the.
Yeah, that was more where like he would like be like, okay, tell me what's going on with your mom.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
Yeah, which is cool. Like you get that, like let's. It's like a therapy session.
It really is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the thing that ruined it for Rogan to me was I realized how much he mentions he loves Sam Kinison. And
you know what? Who was I fucking listening to that said the same thing?
What ruined it for me is I realized he's a copy of Sam Kinison.
It might have been you. I was listening to your podcast the other day. It might have been you. Yeah. But they were saying like, oh, because I yell into a microphone, that makes it funny. Like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's literally because it's like, that's basically what people did when the joke wasn't working. Let's yell or hump the stool.
Hump the stool. I was thinking it'd be funny if what if Joe Rogan treated the humping the stool the same way Bert Kreischer treats the machine joke. He does his certain. He's like, all right, guys, you ready for me to hump the stool? It's like everyone's cheering and shit.
Yeah. I kind of want to get like a fake WWE stool up there so that when I hump it just explodes.
Yeah.
But
they got extra stainless steel stools in the back just because last time he came into town he broke one.
Yeah. I never as far as Bert, I never had that hate for him.
I don't. I mean again, it's like I see, and I watch every one of these videos, ironically, but like, it's like, dude, if you don't like him, just don't fucking watch him. There's a new video every week about how much you fucking hate Bert. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
just watch someone you do like. I don't get the point of that. You know?
Yeah. What do you think? So you got it. Was Comedy Vault your first mic?
Well, my first mic was the Comedy Shrine.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
very
yeah.
first,
Yeah. Okay.
But coming back, having my little renaissance. Yeah, my first vault. My first mic was the Vault. Yeah.
Do you want to? It's up to you. Do you want to shout out any like 3 or more, 5 people that like you look up to locally that you like a lot?
Locally, I'm still pretty new to the scene.
Yeah.
Vinny Cerrone's always been really cool to me.
Yeah.
I've known Kyle Allen for a while. He used to host CGs.
Yeah.
And fucking shout out Tori Ward too.
Yeah.
Really funny stuff.
Yeah. Those are they're great guys. Seriously, I love it. Yeah, Vinny too. I don't think a lot of people talk about Vinny. He's a great dude.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
I've
been meaning to talk to him a little bit more. I just always end up leaving the mic early. But
yeah. I feel like because he hosts a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like he's it's not just even him. It's just whoever is hosting. You kind of want to stay out of their way.
Yeah.
Because you're an ADHD mind.
And I imagine every 3 minutes you're having to put up a light and get back on stage.
Yeah. So, but he's a good. He's the prince of the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I don't know. Yeah, dude, it's cool. I want to say you gotta have some bizarre funny ass shit that happened in the sheet metal shop. You have anything that you could think of there?
Not really that crazy. I mean, there was this welder that we just got rid of recently that was the dumbest person I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, sounds like it. I think you have to be dumb to be a welder.
I mean, like, yeah,
I'm just joking.
Yeah, but I mean, like you could, like, let me give you an example. We had, so you know how they have like the curtains around the welding area to block out the light or whatever?
Yeah.
He had put up this curtain around his area because they were just trying to give him something to do. He then took a clear curtain and then also put it around the outside of the already blocking out all the light curtain. And I'm like,
melted.
I'm like, it's an opaque curtain. Why are you putting another one there?
Yeah.
And he goes, to block out more light.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
You're gonna block out more light with a clear fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Dude, welders. I've said this so many times. We need like the same way there's an office show for office. We need a show called The Shop.
Yeah, like a fucking blue collar.
Yeah. I mean, Shane kind of did it with tires.
Kind of, yeah.
But I've been talking about it for years, where we needed like all the stereotypical welder shit. A fat bearded dude on OxyContin who like he's so pumped because he wants to modify Harley parts, but you're just fucking making like one little piece for like a hinge on a cabinet. There's so much goofy. One of the funniest stories I heard on here. It was either Peter Christopher or. That's it, right. Peter Christopher. So. Yeah, or Rudy. I had him on here. We were talking about shop stories. They told me they had a hydraulic press, and they didn't understand. Like it kept fucking up. It wouldn't it wouldn't go down, and they didn't understand. And so like you ever see those miter saws that have the laser that with the hot dog where it like senses and not cut your finger off, bro. There's always like those hardcore like tough Mexican chicks that work in sheet metal, like if if they wouldn't be in sheet metal, they'd be making coke in Colombia. They had one of those chicks, and the laser protecting the press, her boobs were too big, so they kept getting in the way of the laser, and they were like, "All right, who's gonna tell her that?" Your tits are too huge.
Oh man.
So yeah, that shit was kind of funny that I heard.
Don't get me too hyped up on camera.
Yeah. Fucking welder assembly chick with huge tits who's Latina. Yeah.
I love huge tits.
It's actually kind of funny that I mean, this is like a controversial subject, but like, So the carpet shop, I'm a warehouse guy, and I love it because there's always shit to do. I am the shop bitch, but because everybody there is almost 70, so I do anything. If they need me to get them a sandwich, they need me to change light bulbs. Tough job for us Polish people.
Yeah.
but you know, like I'm always doing so all the installers are subcontractors, and they're like, man, you know, a lot of them are scared because of all this ice shit,
Yeah.
you know.
And
they're all nice. They're all fucking great. And I was talking to this Willie guy, and he's just like, it's a scary moment. You know, it's like they're going. It's like they're going after a criminal. I am not criminal. Like I have to be careful now. I'm just like, oh well, what happened? Like why you're not here legally? He's like, no, I'm not. And it's like, you know, they get me. They're gonna put me in prison. I'm like, well, why would they put you in prison? He's like, I don't know. I didn't do anything. It's like I got a DUI and I didn't go to court. I'm not a criminal. Like, dude, that's the most beaner shit I ever heard. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, but
be like, oh, I'm already on the phone with ICE.
yeah, it's like I get it.
Jokes.
I get it. You're not like I get it. It's not a violent crime.
Yeah.
But like watch out. You know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Not from me, but you know. Yeah. But yeah, that shit is goofy.
Going back to tits, if I may, real quick.
Yeah. Let's talk about tits.
I remember one time I was hanging out with this girl that I was like not dating, but like but it wasn't really friends, you know, kind of weird thing.
Yeah.
And we went up. Remember they used to have that ride. I think it was called the Revolution. It was like you'd sit in a circle and it would swing and spin at the same time.
I think so.
It was one of those.
Is it on the swings?
It's not the swings. It was right next to the American Eagle.
I don't. Oh, maybe. Oh, you know what? Maybe.
Yeah, it's like a giant disc.
You're in the air.
Yeah, it's like a giant disc. All the seats are in a circle, and then the disc spins.
Oh, I know. They have it at all carnivals, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a spinning top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was that. But there was this one girl whose tits, they were trying to put down the harness, but her tits were too big, and they were trying to like 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and it wouldn't go down, and she couldn't get on the ride.
That's
and
hilarious.
I'm just like fucking like sweating, you know. And like she's like, oh, I would be so embarrassed if I was me, and I'm like, yeah.
You're gonna beat off all the ride.
Yeah,
you're gonna beat off all the ride is going.
Yeah,
so
literally, just rock hard.
The person across you is gonna get your jizz on their face. But
do you think you can maintain an erection at high G forces?
I don't know, man. That'd be a whole new kink, man. I'm gonna take a quick piss,
Okay.
but it could keep running. I'm just gonna edit it out.
Okay,
I piss in my sub pump, so
no worries. I'll be right back. For sure.
bro. Luckily, I will say this is the first podcast that none of my cats have taken a fresh shit.
Oh, really?
So the whole room stinks up. So
That's
we're
good.
we're lucky, yeah.
Nice.
There's so many fucking. I remember when I had Ruben Ramirez on here. He was like one of my It was when I was starting out. So I'm like, oh my god, he wants to come on my podcast, bro.
Yeah.
2 minutes into it, he's like, man, why the fuck it smell like poop in here? It's like, oh yeah, but yeah, it's funny we go on this tangent because I had it's funny. This is like Come Town. Because I had a podcast where we just told all of our shit stories. We should probably stick to tits.
Yeah.
Should stick to you. Bro, my tits story. Okay. So I remember I was like in 6th grade and bro, this girl hit puberty early. That's all I'm going to say. So like, here's what's funny. Like it was like I was in a Catholic school, grammar school. And it's so funny, like when I think about because we were so bored, we didn't have pre-internet days when you had show and tell. So like you're doing a whole lot of show and toots.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, but I just remember like the cringy shit where like people come up there and show their Pog collection, or like somebody would be like, these are all the moves I can do on my yo-yo, you know?
Oh yeah.
And so like, and then there was like some kid that was always like super serious, like, these are my grandfather's Holocaust papers. So I remember this. It was so weird because this was the only person I've ever met in my entire life who was like so proud of being Irish. I never met any, like, there's always like every alcoholic Irish dude gets the Celtic cross and the flag, you know, or the fucking leprechaun fighting Irish, you know. But this chick was just like, her whole family, they had their whole accent, you know.
Okay.
And like she was like first generation American. She didn't have the accent. She wasn't that good looking. I always kind of like joked that like Irish chicks kind of just look like Irish dudes with long hair to me.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chick going after Bob Keane. but like, you know, she you know what, man? I don't think I'm gonna do the drama resolution. I'm just gonna lean into it and cause drama.
Fuck it.
But
Fuck it, man.
Anyways, so this chick, most Irish name, her name was Nori Lally, and like she was gonna go up in front of the class, full costume in Irish dance, and everybody's like, all right, bro, this is going to be like, you know, when you're in 6th grade, you're like, all right, the yo-yo thing was kind of cool. The Pog collection was kind of, now this bitch is going to fucking dance in front of us, you know? And I always like, Irish dancing looked so dumb to me. It's just like the bottom half of your torso is doing all the work.
Yeah.
The upper half is, it's almost like you're fucking playing DDR at work, but you're a desk person.
Yeah.
So you can't show the lower half of your body, you know?
It's like the split video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just picture like a Three Stooges skit where somebody's like Tommy gunning your feet, you know, and they're just trying to miss the bullets, you know? So
or like stepping on hot concrete or something.
Yeah. And so like, bro, like I just remember being in 6th grade and everybody's like bored as fuck, and suddenly like all the dudes are like, she started Irish dancing and it's just like bounce, 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 bounce. She had like soccer ball tits.
Oh, my Lord.
And we're just like, oh, we really love the Irish now. We love it. We're so interested in Irish dancing. And then like I had these friends who are like, let's look up Irish dancing online. And they're like, no, dude, it's only Noreen with those huge cans, you know? None of these other Irish, they all got fucking Jello cups.
It's a shame that the biggest tits are on the weirdest looking women.
Yeah, that is true.
There's a lot of boxy gals with big tits. You know?
Yeah, or they'll like side, you know.
Yeah,
where it's like it almost looks
they're
like
getting a divorce there.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Ninja Turtle costume, you know.
Yeah,
like, but yeah, I don't know any. You think you got any more tit stories you can think of?
Not really, honestly. You'd think
No.
I'd have more fucking working at Hooters, but
Yeah,
not really. I don't know. My time there was actually kind of boring, to be honest.
Did any of them ever flash you there? No,
unfortunately.
nothing.
There's a lot. What a lot of it is you wait. If one of them has big tits, maybe you'll know when they go down the stairs.
Yeah,
You know, take a quick little peek for that.
You mean you get more action at an Olive Garden or a Chili's with tits?
I mean, they're not out at Olive Garden. They got the button ups there. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I will give Hooters credit though. They really have stuck to the hiring attractive women thing. Like you know, you go to B-Dubs, bro. They'll fucking hire anyone, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, you know what, man? B-Dubs is like the white bros area to get into a fight. I've never been to B-Dubs where there wasn't a fight.
Really?
It's fucking, yeah, it's weird. I only been there like 10 times, but like I just remember, and you know what, maybe this is why, because I would, when I had an old job, they would always like, that was the work bonding thing where they're like, yo, let's see the UFC fight. And there's always some drunk fuck who's like, I can UFC, man. You know, and it's so fucking, there's always some confrontation there, you know.
I was at B-Dubs when Kobe died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole place went silent.
Over fucking Kobe.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And they've got 1,000 TVs, so it's all over the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to think of some tit stories. This is pretty gross. I remember when my aunt, and I mean, she was not a bad looking Polish fucking aunt. She's just like a blonde, slutty Polish looking chick.
Yeah.
And I remember when she had my cousin, she had those breast pumps.
Oh, okay.
And I almost drank that milk. Because we're Polish, so it'd be like we would have like sometimes instead of like eggs from the store, we'd have like we bought some like farm raised eggs, or like instead of anything like even like chicken, we'd get like chicken from like the fresh deli. So I was like, oh, this must be just like some raw milk from a farm,
Yeah. Why does this taste like Aunt May?
Yeah. But she's never given me a hug again. That's it.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna get thirsty. But
you've had enough of her in you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you second guess yourself. You're like, you know what? I
go back for a second sip.
Yeah. Let's pour this on some Fruit Loops first.
Yeah.
But
I had a whole bowl of cereal with it, and I'm pretty sure it's not a regular milk.
I did. It's like, I don't know if this is just ripping off Tom Green, but I don't know what it is. I fucking loved milk my entire fucking life. I just love it. It's those Got Milk commercials and shit. So like, I mean, I used to be that kid that like I was a fat kid, so I'm like, we're waiting for food in the restaurant, so I just start taking shots of half and half, And I always was under the impression that like fresh cow milk tastes like fat as fuck, like creamer.
Yeah.
So I always wanted it like taste raw milk. So I remember this was like 2 years ago. My wife and I, we went on this like they had like a farm tour in Wisconsin. And you go through the whole thing. It was actually cool as fuck. Like you learn a lot of shit that like they legit said every farm in the U.S. is at least $1 million in debt.
Really?
Because of competition from overseas, and whenever you start a farm, you have to take out a loan to buy those huge combines, and those are like $5 million. So they're like showing all this shit, and then we get to the cow part, and I was like, bro, like. I gotta taste this fucking milk fresh, and I got kicked off the tour because I just like they walked away and I just squirted it right into my face, and it was just like cantaloupe
right
juice.
from the tap.
Yeah, right from the fucking titty. Yeah. The thing that made me laugh the most though, the two things that made me so first thing was like I got 3 cats, right, and I remember we're walking through there, and they're like, yeah, guys, this is the cow barn. This is like specifically for the cows. We keep them like segregated because they eat differently from like the goats and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so it's like Chicago, we put we segregate it by what they eat, with chicken and no, but so they're like, yeah, don't be spooked if you see the cats here. And I didn't know what they were talking about. They have like barnyard cats. There's like 20 of them chilling on the beams. Because they're always attacking the mice, so that they don't like bite the cows and shit.
Oh, gotcha.
But it was just like having domestic cats and seeing like these bad motherfuckers who just slit mice bellies open and chew on their intestines. It was like seeing just like the NWA of cats. Yeah, like the fuck you looking at, bitch. But then the other funny thing was like. I got some straight from the titty milk, but I was like, dude, like, I know you have to like, when you make milk, you got to like boil it, so that it like you have to do this process. I don't know if it's pasteurizing.
Yeah, I think that's what that is.
But I mean, like, even for raw milk, you have to like do something where it disperses the fat evenly. Because pasteurizing, I think, is what you do it so that it's legal to sell.
Okay.
But then there's some other. Anyways, point is, I was expecting it to be like half and half, but it was like cantaloupe juice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, I gotta like buy raw milk. That'll be the real thing. And dude, you ever see those Dean's bottles?
I think so.
Or like it's like a Coke bottle of milk, like that little. They were selling them, and I'm like, you know what, like. It was like a 3-hour drive back to Chicago. I'm like, I'm just gonna get one of these and drink them now because it's gonna be spoiled by the time we get home. and I chugged the whole thing, and I was like, damn, raw milk tastes good. This is so fucking thick. I feel like I ate a stick of butter. Bro, I didn't realize I bought a whole cream. I didn't buy a milk. So I was tearing so much ass.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it, I'm like, I just drank like 3,000 calories in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
How were those shits?
Oh, dude, it was.
Come out real easy?
I think the farts were worse.
I could see that.
It smelled like, it smelled something not from this world, you know?
Oh, man.
But I don't know if I got any more tit story. You know, I have this other tit story. Like when I was, I showed you the band that I released. Oh, that's the other thing. I released an album, you know, cool. You know, when I was in that band, like, so dude, I always mention like, I was always an awkward fucking dude with girls. Mm-hmm. I was just really awkward. I don't know what you'd call it, beta, incel, whatever the fuck these Joe Rogan bros call, you know? But then when I entered a band, I had like this Russell Brand man whore face.
Really?
It was just a different girlfriend each week, and I leaned into it, bro. And so one time, I'm working like a 14-hour shift at a welding shop, tired as fuck, and this, oh my God, this hot-looking Latina chick, I forgot what her name, it's like Anna Pastrana. She gave me a call. Dude, she looked like Snooki. She looked like some Jersey Shore, like this hoe that, you know, she lives off of mooching off of guys' money.
Oh yeah,
and spends it all on the tanning salon, you know. Yeah. And she invited me over, and I was just so fucking tired. I was so fucking horny that I went straight from work to her place. She just invites me over. I go to her. It was like some scene in like Dazed and Confused, because I just go in her basement. She's got all these like silk fucking like drapes hanging down, like it's like, you know, like when like that 70s show where you have like the beads and the marijuana blacklight posters and shit, and she's just laying naked. She's like, all right, let's get this going. And dude, I didn't realize until she took her cover off, her tits were literally the size of basketballs. But then I didn't realize her fucking nipples were the size of CDs.
Yeah.
Dude,
they get bigger too.
Yeah. I was like, and I was already craving on getting a salami sandwich. So I just remember, and I thought I'd make her laugh. She's like, so we banged, and she's like, so what do you want to do now? And I'm just like, honestly, after seeing them, I got to get like extra salami sandwich. And she got so pissed. Like, it was like a scene from Friday where she just like chased me out of her house half naked, just throwing shit at me.
Come on, man.
It was so good. And I never heard of her. I never seen her before again. I don't know. I would guess that she died from an STD because like her reputation, but
I remember I told some girl that she was wearing like the fishnets on her legs, and I told her that her thighs reminded me of a Christmas ham.
Yeah.
But then I made it worse because I was like, I tried to save it. I was like, wait, no, I like ham, you know?
Yeah. That's funny, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, I've those are some typical like those dude versus girl memes on like Instagram, you know, where it's like, no, I'm saying it in a good way.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you need to look at the root of what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know, I've told this before, but one of the grossest tit things I ever fucking seen. So like, I was messing around with this chick who came over, and she was kind of like this like punk slutty chick that like banged everybody in the crew, whatever. So she came over, and like her thing was like everybody knew she gave the best blowjob. And I think it's because she was a fan of donuts. She was chugging down them Long Johns, you know?
Yeah.
Like I never messed around with a chick where like I almost stopped getting hard because she was choking on that shit. Like it sounded like somebody getting surgery on their throat. I was like, this is
like,
not...
hey, easy there.
Like she's like, oh no, I'm okay with it. And I was like, this is not turning me on, dude. Like, I feel like I'm like skull fucking a horse, you know? But So I remember the next time she came over, she's just like, well, maybe like now that I gave you head, like you and me should mess around. Like, isn't it my turn? Dude, she took her shirt off. She had like 5 hours shadow on her nipples.
Oh man.
Like I didn't know you could like chicks could get hairy nipples. I got tarantulas, but I thought I didn't know girls could get that too, because she was like Polish. I'm like,
Come on,
you're not even Greek.
Get some scissors and fucking clip them or
Yeah.
something, man.
Fucking
Take 2 seconds.
go to the waxer, you know. Like
I remember I hooked up with this girl one time I met on a Christmas Eve at my mom's house.
Yeah.
Because my parents divorced and I wasn't living with her at the time, so but I was there. And
Yeah.
I brought this girl home, and I was still pretty like inexperienced, and I wanted to be like, I want to be the eat your pussy guy. So I was like, I'm gonna eat your pussy, pull your pants down.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, okay, and fucking, it didn't smell bad, but it had the flavor combination of a 9-volt battery and God's not real.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know how to describe it, but I was like, there's no way they all taste like this.
You should have put a 9-volt battery to it,
Yeah.
or like a light bulb to see if it turns on.
Yeah,
Just,
right?
you know,
Yeah, no good. That's the problem right there.
The acidity balance is good here, you know.
Dude, like, I fucking pulled away, but like, I'm not a quitter, so I went back down for a second
Yeah.
time. Fucking threw up in my mouth and swallowed it. I couldn't do it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to bed.
Oh God. It's you know, like as far as pussy story, I remember this is the most slime bag shit I did. I don't think this is like canceling level, but I remember my buddy was, and I don't even know if this is a good thing. I thought she was good. You see Billy Madison? Mm-hmm. You remember that art school chick?
Yeah.
Or the teacher. She's got like the black bangs and like the pig. She looked like her.
Oh, okay.
And she was dating my buddy, and my buddy was kind of a dick. He was just kind of like this pretentious, I collect vinyl, Andy Warhol type, douche, you know. And she just broke up with him, so I came in for the rebound, you know. Mm-hmm. And I just remember messing around, and it's fun. Like, see, this is the type of shit that I like to talk about that is in everyone's head, but you don't want to talk about it. People with ADHD, you get a lot of intrusive thoughts.
This is all I want to talk about, bro. Everything else is boring.
Yeah, but I mean, like, everybody gets these intrusive thoughts, especially ADHD. And dude, I get such bad ADHD during like fucking sex. Like I'll be hitting it from the back, and I'll be like, oh man, that paint needs a second coat.
Yeah.
You know, just like,
Yeah.
well, like, no, I need to stay hard, you know? So I was like eating this chick out, and dude, she had the hugest clit. And I'm just like, while I'm doing, I'm really turned on until I realized I'm kind of giving my 10-year-old self a blowjob.
Yeah. When you wrap the clit around your finger.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've had a bunch of those just 80. You know, one thing that I do feel bad, like it sucks because this was like a mean thing I did that like you wish you could apologize for, but it's like I'm married and she's an ex, so it's like no, just she can go fuck herself. But but I remember I there was one chick that I was going out with her. I gave her a second chance. Like I went out with her for like 2 years, dumped her. Then I was like, oh man, that was kind of mean. Maybe I was like being fucking whatever, like wrapped up in my own shit. So I tried to go out with her again. And I realized again, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, I
me.
remember why.
Yeah. Because like the first time that time that I went out with her the first time was the first time I ever like smoked weed on a regular basis. I never smoked weed all the time.
Yeah.
I never did it. Even then it was like twice a week.
Okay.
You know? And that was the most I ever smoked in my life. So I was in the impression like, oh, you know what? Maybe I just loved her because I was high all the time, which you could fucking fall in love with like a homeless bum when you're high, you know?
Yeah.
So, Yeah, the second time I went out there and I wasn't high, I was like, yeah, no, it's you. You know?
Yeah.
But what made me feel bad was my birthday was coming up. Bro, she bought me this $400 like music interface for my birthday. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'll wait till after my birthday.
Yeah.
I'll cash in first, you know?
Those concert tickets. Fuck, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then after she gave me it, I kind of was like, no, you know what? I got to give her a chance. I got to be a nice guy. I'll give her. And then, you know, when I snapped is when I was messing around. And this is kind of like a wild Phil story, but like, and I mentioned this before, but I love it. It's funny to me because the reason why I feel mean is because Big J did a bit about this. So this is normal.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was grossed as fuck, which is she had all these toilet paper shreds just down her crotch.
Come on.
You know? And it was like, I was like hitting it. Like, here's what's funny. When I get upset, I like, it's that deadpan, stoic, wild Phil thing where instead of freaking out, I be sarcastic. And what I did was I'm like about to hit her from the back. She's got her ass in the air. And I just see like the tightest rolled joint of toilet paper. And I'm like, you know what? Hold on. And she's like, what? What's going on there? I'm like, yeah, hold on. I'm like, I think we should get fucked up before we do this. And I lit it and pretended like I was smoking it. And she's like, oh, you want to smoke it? I'm like, yeah, you should try this. She's like, oh, what is that? I'm like, that came from your fucking ass. That's what that is.
Oh, my God.
Which, like, at the time, like, even right now, it's a great story.
Yeah.
That must have fucked up her self-esteem for life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel so bad about it, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? The reason why I was like trying to play devil's advocate in my head. I was like, bro, I was like a punk rock metalhead. Even I know, hey, we're going to bang. Take a shower.
Dude, you don't like, sweep before you have people over?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, like,
objectively, that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, at her expense, but you know,
and it's like, especially like we're working class dudes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying this in any offense. Your car smells like my car, which is like tobacco and like motor oil. Because we're working class dudes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know that it's going to, and I'm like, I know that if I don't clean up, that's what I smell like.
Yeah.
You know? So for me to know that, I was just like, dude, do you just, like, what's the deal here? You need a loofah because your ass is so huge? Like, yeah. But, yeah, man.
How long have we been going?
Oh, we could wrap it up. Yeah. It's been, let's see here, 2 hours. We could wrap it up. I was going to say, so like, to wrap it up, I'm just interested because, like, I love your material. I could tell you're a Skinks fan. I love your fucking material.
I appreciate that.
Bro.
Thank you.
Literally just keep going. That's literally what it is, you know?
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And, you know, I was going to say, like, what do you think? Because I made a video about this. I'm just curious from you. What do you think you learned from doing it for a year, like, solid?
A lot of it is just, like... Well, like you said, just keep doing it. Once you get into the rhythm of doing it, don't fucking stop. You know what I mean? And then there's always going to be another mic, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I first started out, I put a lot of pressure on myself because I really wanted to, like, be this new guy and then crush. And then everyone be like, oh, who's this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I put a lot of pressure on myself to, like, be immediately good. And that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
You know? So once I did start doing a couple and I was doing good, you know, just like there's going to be another one. You go next week. If you suck this week, maybe you'll do better next week. And just really, it's just about keeping up with it. Yeah.
That is the beauty of comedy because, like, you don't get that in music.
Yeah.
You know, you play maybe one show a month, and if you fuck up at that show, you know,
that's true.
Is anybody going to come next month? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is true. The consistency, you know. I'm trying to think of what you know, you're right. The consistent, that's kind of what I felt is the consistency and the ability, like what I explain to people is like, it's like asking your crush out like 20 times a week and constantly being turned down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
And that's why I think there is, like, what happened, a bunch of creeps.
Yeah.
Because everybody in comedy is socially awkward.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you get somebody who's never, like, there's people who are socially awkward, but they have had girlfriends or boyfriends.
Yeah.
But when you get the guys who are like, I've never fucking had, anybody that I had confidence to ask out.
Yeah.
They're usually the ones that are like, I could take advantage of this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I call it like nerd over confidence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen, my brother got mad at this. He's like, what do you mean? Because he's a nerd. He's like, what do you mean about nerd? I'm like, there's just dudes who like are like this, like 500 pounds, but they watch Dragon Ball Z, so they think they could fucking like Super Saiyan you out.
Yeah.
When it's like, you'll be out of breath just trying to chase me.
Yeah, literally. Halfway towards running to me, you'll fucking need to stop for a breath.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, I don't think I should. I think I got to stop asking people how long they've been doing it for, because I'm at that point where I don't think it matters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's definitely people that like have been doing it a long time, and it's like then you see people that haven't been doing it a long time, and then they're really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's dependent on more than just how long you've been doing it.
Yeah. One thing that I'm realizing is like, when you get with the whole Ken Flores thing, right?
Yeah.
And even like Peyton,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously there'll be no replacement for Ken.
Yeah.
But people like Peyton and Ruben,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be the next ones representing Illinois. I
Yeah.
feel like
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Luca.
Well, didn't fucking Peyton just headline Zanies like a month ago?
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
and it's, but like, the way I look at it is, it's almost like, how fighters, like UFC fighters, they say like you have this peak between like 20 and 30 where that's when you're at your highest like fighting ability.
Yeah.
I feel like people in comedy, whoever it is, Peyton, Ken, you got to be able to hit that wave of fame, because everyone's going to want to book you, and you better fucking prepare yourself.
Yeah.
It may not happen to everybody, but I've just heard people who are like 10 years in, and they're like, yeah, I kind of couldn't handle it. I kind of didn't want to do out of state, or I kind of like, it's like, no, dude, you got it. Like, what do you want out of this?
Yeah.
So, but whatever, I don't know what else. If you want to, it's nice talking to you, Kyle.
I appreciate that. You
What
as well.
Do you have a goal for this next following year? That you're setting like a baby step goal?
I don't know. I want to try to go to like downtown shows, shit like that. So I saw next week Riddles is doing this open mic where I guess the top 3 spots get a showcase at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah, the Vouch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's called the Vouch. That's
Okay.
it's part of the so the Comedy Gazelles. Have you heard of that?
No.
The Comedy Gazelles are it's awards. It's the yearly awards. So have you've heard of the Burbies?
I think so.
Yeah, the Burbies is what Matt Drufke and the Burbs, and they
Okay,
kind of vote on like most improved comedian or best online presence shit.
Okay.
That Comedy Gazelles is that for the city.
Okay.
And they're kind of doing the whole vouch thing where like I went to my first one 3 weeks ago. It was at Lincoln Lodge. They did that. Ate shit. From what I hear from everybody else on there, it wasn't a good night for anybody.
Yeah.
Then they had it again at Lottie's, which is a pub down from Lincoln Lodge, and a few people got on. It was really good.
Oh, cool.
Cody Heck came from Wisconsin, and he got on.
Okay.
Shout out to him. He's fucking good. And and they're gonna do Riddles, so that I might go to. I've never been to Riddles.
I
so-
mean, it's run down. It's run
Yeah.
down, but I don't know. It's a club with an open mic, and that's an opportunity. So, and
I love that they're doing that.
Yeah.
I hope that they're mixing it up. Because otherwise the same person's going to be winning the
Yeah.
Gazelle.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing. I love everything the Gazelles is doing. Like I love the fucking. I don't know if you ever seen the interviews with Jerry Hamedi on there. He's one of the runners of Gazelles, I think, or he just does the podcast. But he like interviewed Dan Soder last week.
Okay, cool.
And they talk a lot about a lot of good stuff, but yeah, man, then good luck for that, and that's good, dude. I could already tell that you're like humble. You gotta reach out and get booked on shows, but at the same time, like you can't let the fucking why would they put this person on instead of me?
Yeah, no.
Or like I
Yeah.
deserve this. It's like at the end of the day, dude, humans have so many mistakes. And because of that, that booker might have just like, I'm not gonna say who, but I know a booker who literally put somebody on at a high end place because they were drunk and they have a crush on the person. So it's like, okay, so what does that mean? That I gotta dress sexy for this and hope they're drunk?
Yeah.
Humans have mistakes. So it's like, right place, right time, whatever. But yeah, man, good talking to you.
You as well. Do you mind if I plug my podcast real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Podcast is Horrible Hang. It's available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Awesome. Horrible Hang.
Horrible Hang.
Is that is it who it's you're the host and your friend?
I'm the host and I do it with my buddy.
Liam?
His name's Andy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll check it out, man. We'll
It's very edgy if you're into that.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, man.
All right. Appreciate it.